revised numbers. See, the way this works is they come out with an inflation report every month, and we make a big deal about it. Oh, inflation is blank percent over the previous year. And at one point, it was like 9% over the previous year. That was the worst numbers. And now it's been coming down and coming down and coming down, and they've been trumpeting the decline in the inflation numbers. But there's a sticky little thing that happens, and I don't know why they do this. I don't know why they can't get it right at first, but they always revise the inflation number. Now, the revision is not always dramatic. It's never dramatic. I mean, they don't miss that bad on the numbers. By the way, welcome to the Bruce Hooley Show. I just couldn't wait to get to something that reflects poorly on Biden's reelection campaign. But this time, the revision is 0.2%. That's huge. That's a huge revision. Sometimes it's an increment of 0.1%. This time it's 0.2%. So what it shows is that while the Biden cheerleaders were ecstatic when the numbers came out for January, and they were at, inflation was at 2.9%. Oh, what an amazing job the president is doing. 2.9%. The Biden economy is rolling because, you know, the target rate for inflation is 2%. Now, never mind that the inflation rate when Donald Trump left office was 1.4% and was never above 2% his entire 4 years in the White House. Never mind that. And never mind that 2.9% is, if accurate, which it isn't, we now know it was 3.1%, but let's just say it was 2.9%. Well, that's almost a full percentage point over the target of 2%, which would mean that inflation is 50% higher than they want it to be in order to lower interest rates. And yet, when inflation was supposedly 2.9%, you might have seen or certainly heard here clips played from the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's interview with Scott Pelley of CBS. And Pelley was like a kid in the back of the car when you're driving to grandma's house across 5 states. And they always ask, are we there yet? Are we there yet? How much longer? How much longer? How much longer? That was Pelley asking, well, how soon are you going to cut rates? You got to cut the rates. Like, how soon are you going to cut the rates? You got to cut the rates. You got to cut the rates. In Scott Pelley's mind, because he's a bootlick for Joe Biden. Of course he is. He's in the mainstream media. He's on 60 Minutes. Can't get much more liberal than that. Powell has to cut the rates according to Scott Pelley because there's a presidential election coming up. And, you know, what's the age-old, since Ronald Reagan, political strategy in an election is to ask a very simple question, and that is, are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And the answer to that question is a definitive, resounding no for everybody in the United States of America. Now, a lot of people, liberal elites and TV commentators, of course, college professors, will lie about this and tell you that, no, everything is great. Look at the jobs. We got lots and lots of jobs. Yeah, because everybody's working 2 or 3 of them. We have a low unemployment rate. Yeah, because if you have a job, a part-time job, and statistics show that people are working less hours than they were before. So why is that? Because the Biden administration has clamped down all kinds of regulations on businesses, and our old friend Obamacare is out there. So if employers can keep employees' hours below a certain amount, then they don't have to pay their health insurance. Okay. Again, Democrats never ask why about a problem. They just complain about the problem or blame it on someone else, or just lie about it and deny it. That's what they did here with the inflation numbers. Now, they don't release the inflation numbers. That's, of course, an independent body. But nevertheless, listen to how this is being spun in the mainstream media. So I just Googled the inflation higher than expected. That's all I put into Google. First three headlines that pop up. Listen to the positivity amid the negativity. Inflation fell. This is ABC News. Inflation fell markedly in January. Oh, but still higher than expected. Latest data shows. Let's get it falling markedly. Yeah, from what? And then the story says, well, it's fallen markedly since the summer when it was 9.1%. Yeah, it has fallen markedly since then. That was the highest inflation in 40 years. I hope it's fallen markedly since then. I was tired of paying close to $5.50 for a gallon of gas. I was tired of paying $5 for a dozen eggs. One more, Yahoo Finance. Inflation, consumer prices rise 3.1% in January, defying forecasts for a faster recovery. See, it's defying the forecast. It's the fault of the crazy inflation release numbers. It's not the fault of Joe Biden's policies. CNBC, prices rose more than expected in January as inflation won't go away. See, it's the fault of inflation. That nasty Mr. Inflation. It's not the fault of Joe Biden's policies. It's the fault of Mr. Inflation. Now, economist Peter Schiff, a guy who I've heard on podcasts many times, and a guy who I think is pretty smart, tweeted this after the release of the numbers. He said, as I've been warning, the January Consumer Price Index data confirms that inflation has bottomed and is now headed back up. The higher than expected 0.3% rise annualizes to 3.7%. Whoops, that's almost twice the target rate. He said the 0.4% jump in the core inflation, which is food and energy stripped out, because who needs to eat and who needs to drive anywhere? Sorry, all those of you who like to go out to eat are stripping that whole part of the equation out, unless you walk, okay? Then half of it gets stripped out. The 0.4% jump in the core inflation annualizes to, Peter Schiff says, 5% inflation. And then he lowers the boom on the Biden administration. He says, without additional rate hikes, Scott Pelley will not like that. There is no chance, inflation will return to 2%. Yes, I've said that. And I've asked Josh Pick, my co-host on the Aptus Retirement Blueprint radio show, what are the chances that the Fed just says, the core and the inflation rate target of 2%, we've found that that's really unrealistic. We think that's just too high of an expectation for us. And so now, a 2.5, a 2.7% inflation rate, like that's really pretty good, pretty acceptable. Wait for that. Here's a quote from the CBS News story. Consumers are still, this is from an economist named Lisa Sturdivant. I'll allow you to listen to the quote before you decide which way her political allegiances lean. Consumers are still feeling the pinch of higher prices for the things they buy most often. Inflation is generally moving in the right direction, down significantly from its peak of 9.1% in June. But it's important to remember, and this is where she's overcome with a wave of honesty, apparently. It's important to remember that a lower inflation rate does not mean that prices of most things are falling. Rather, it simply means that prices are rising more slowly. Yes, that is what it means. Have you noticed the astronomical prices you're paying for, I don't know, let's say a common everyday item that most people buy? Orange juice. Remember what orange juice used to be on sale at Kroger? It was $3.99. When I had the flu a couple weeks ago, I went into Kroger to get a gallon of orange juice. You know how much it was? $7.99. $7.99. Double. So they can tell you all they want to that Bidenomics is working They are lying to you. It is not working. It's not working for any normal, everyday, working American. Bottom up, middle out. Yeah, the economy is bottoming out, and Biden won't take the blame for it. Of course, he has other things that, he's in the news for more often, notably his stumbling and bumbling around, which we will have more of the Democrats' feckless defense of that as the Bruce Hooley Show continues.
Easy day, high 46, partly cloudy tonight, low 25. Cloudy day tomorrow, the high 42, and then clouds tomorrow night, low 33. Clouds and windy, a shower in spots on Thursday, 53. It'll be cloudy on Friday, much colder, high 39, and then times of clouds and sun. A windy day on Saturday, high Saturday only reaching 31. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Headmaster Hull here from Dublin Classical Academy. At Dublin Classical Academy, we have the tuition-free solution.
All right, so we're going to get into a little bit more on
Dublin Classical Academy
Joe Biden's inflation rate. Not too much of that, though. We've already kind of covered that.
It's a content-rich class.
But we've got a guest on The View who probably won't be invited back based on what he told the View hosts yesterday. Now, we've got some interesting audio of
the IRS.
Joe Biden struggling with numbers. Yeah, he struggles a bit with numbers.
We're going to take your house.
And we will prove that to you with audio when we return.
Louis found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me, they calm me down, they make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louis has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louis.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433. 800-965-1433.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is an urgent announcement for anyone with $10,000 or more in debt. Before you make another minimum payment, you need to know there are special programs that can completely free you from debt. Total Financial Freedom can help you become debt-free in months instead of years. Resolve your credit card debt, signature loans, department store cards, internet loans, and timeshares. Call now at 800-533-6605 for a free consultation. For 16 years, Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get out of debt. You can feel confident when calling because Total Financial Freedom is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and a Christian-owned company. Don't get stuck in the endless cycle of payments. You have the right to get your debt resolved and substantially reduce your monthly payments. Call Christian-owned Total Financial Freedom now at 800-533-6605. That's 800-533-6605. 800-533-6605.
All right.
Hi, it's Bruce Hooley with a reminder. Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank all my listeners for all your continued support. And to thank you, they're having an overstock, full, and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use the promo code Bruce. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Free shipping, I said. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, they're only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items, such as mattresses and mattress toppers. It's all 100% made in the USA, on sale now for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb. Also dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com and use the promo code Bruce. Remember, you get free shipping on your entire order. So go to mypillow.com, promo code Bruce. mypillow.com, promo code Bruce.
The need for blood doesn't take a vacation or even a day off. The need is constant, and sometimes that need becomes critical. From accident victims and cancer patients to premature babies and those with blood disorders, hospital patients rely on all of us to make sure that blood is on the shelves and ready to help. That's why the American Red Cross needs you. Please make an appointment to give blood today by calling 1-800-RED-CROSS. The number is easy to remember. It's 1-800-RED-CROSS. You can also visit redcrossblood.org. That's redcrossblood.org. Your single donation of blood can save up to 3 lives. It's definitely worth an hour of your time, and there are lots of locations where you can donate, near where you work or live in Central Ohio. Call now, 1-800-RED-CROSS. That's 1-800-RED-CROSS. redcrossblood.org. That's redcrossblood.org. Don't wait. Make that call now. 1-800-RED-CROSS. That's 1-800-RED-CROSS. Or go to redcrossblood.org.
Back on the Bruce Hooley Show. Appreciate you listening. You can email the show, bruce@salemmedia.com, bruce@salemmedia.com. Here's something that I've received texts from friends about. My appearance March the 20th at the Lazy Chameleon in Powell. We do a debate watch party up there. I know we did something up there because we had Senate candidate Frank LaRose in the house. We had Senate candidate Bernie Moreno in the house. It was a debate. It was a presidential debate. I know it wasn't a presidential debate. It was something. Lazy Chameleon hosts a lot of great events. They're good friends with the Republican Party of Central Ohio. But this event, March the 20th at the Lazy Chameleon, will feature Mike Gallagher, whose show airs in advance of my own here on The Answer. Now, here's the thing. Don't just show up that night. It's a VIP event, and tickets are mandatory to attend. They're limited, available now at 989theanswer.com. Your ticket includes appetizer, buffet-style dinner, dessert, complimentary drink ticket, and the live show. How about that? I guess I better get working on my song and dance routine. Gallagher won't have to work on it. He's like Mr. Broadway. Jack Windsor and I will be there. Maybe Jack and I could do like a tandem number. Doors open at 6. I haven't talked to Jack about that. Doors open at 6 with a food and cocktail hour. Then at 7, we'll launch some special programming there just for the live audience and finish with a Q&A. You can save by purchasing a pair of tickets, but do it now because, you know, Joe Biden's in charge and who knows where prices are heading. So we appreciate this very much, and we appreciate our friends Pastor Linda and Pastor Phil and the Adult and Teen Challenge Ohio team being the sponsors of it. Wednesday, March 20th, Lazy Chameleon in Powell. Tickets available at 989theanswer.com. Now, I don't follow this guy's career. The Bruce Hooley Show, I told you yesterday, was not the place to come for the breakdown of Super Bowl commercials, nor is it the place to go to find out the latest goings-on in the career of rapper Killer Mike. Now, Killer Mike is the guy who won 3 Grammys and was arrested at the Grammys. But yesterday, Killer Mike was on The View. And, you know, this what you would think. The View ladies probably thought this guy would be a fitting stooge to help them disparage Donald Trump and to prop up Joe Biden. And here's what Killer Mike said about federal elections when he was asked why has he not endorsed Joe Biden yet. If you don't know, Killer Mike is African-American. He says, we get caught up in the soap opera of federal elections, and that's fine. But if you're concerned with the federal election and you don't know your city councilman, your wardsman, and you don't know who your mayor is, and you don't have a good list of state representatives or governor, then you're just part of whoever wins the Super Bowl, the fanfare. Now, this did not please Sunny Hostin, who just found out, was it a week ago, that her ancestors owned slaves. So it's been a bad week, bad month for Sunny Hostin. And now here's Killer Mike sitting next to her, refusing to support Donald Trump. And worse than that, he also offered praise for Georgia Governor Brian Kemp. Brian Kemp is a Republican. Sunny Hostin did not like that. She said that he lost her with his support of Brian Kemp. Now, I don't know. Just me talking, advice, word to the wise. If you're going to insult a rapper on national television, at least have your facts straight, okay? Because he's probably not going to take it. And he didn't. As for his support of Brian Kemp, he said, Don't lie on me. That's some misinformation. He's the governor of my state. I have to be involved with him. I can't divorce myself. Let me say this. If you criticize someone, don't lie. I may have to go out and buy a Killer Mike album today. Don't say I didn't support Stacey Abrams because I did. Don't say I don't support Democrats because I've helped 3 Democratic mayors get elected, 2 state reps get elected. But if someone is in the king's seat, meaning the governor, I'm not going to not have dinner with the king on behalf of my people. I have to do that. Killer Mike sounds like the antithesis of most Democrats. He wants all the information he can get so he can make a prudent decision on who he should support. Crazy that he would go that way. Now, speaking of crazy, yes, we will have Today in Crazy at 12:20 today after we talk to one of those local candidates that Killer Mike is talking about right now. In terms of not this specific candidate, Brendan Shea, candidate for Madison County Commissioner. But you got to know who your commissioner candidates are. You got to know who your township trustee candidates are. You got to know who your local school board candidates are. And if you don't, well, you're not really playing the game the right way. George in Newark has a question about candidates in elections. George, welcome to the Bruce Hooley Show.
Hi, Bruce. Great to have you back on the show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Yes. Refresh my memory on the second one. Is you're saying there is a certain candidate that Jordan endorses? All right. Let me do some research on that because I don't want to speak about something I haven't done research on. Your first question was, okay, I think I know where that might come from, and I'm going to speak with the person I believe might be in charge of that. So again, you're hitting me with something that I intend to do research on and intend to talk to. I've got a phone number. In fact, a couple of people have approached me about this, but your question is good because what happens is the state central committee comes out with their preferred list of candidates. And oftentimes those candidates are just like people they've known for a long time and hands they've shaken for a long time. And we do have to dig in on that. That's one of the things I'm going to really strive to do between now and the March 19th primary. Thank you, George.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. More than 1,400 flights canceled. A lot of schools have been closed as a nor'easter dumped snow along the East Coast, New York City up to Boston, the area especially hard hit. A state of emergency declared in Massachusetts. And in the midst of the storm, New York voters are going to the polls today, deciding on a replacement for ousted GOP Congressman George Santos. The Senate, pulling an all-nighter, finally passed a $95 billion foreign aid package, providing more money for Ukraine as well as Israel and Taiwan. The bill, however, may go nowhere in the House amid Republican opposition. Republicans object because the bill, they say, does nothing to secure the U.S. southern border. At first, they did not succeed, so they're gearing up to try again. House Republicans planning another vote on impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas. Stock sharply lower on Wall Street. This is SRN News.
To avoid digital threats, turn on NordVPN. It's trusted by millions of users. Just visit NordVPN.com. One of the fastest VPNs on Earth will block web trackers, malicious websites, and malware-ridden downloads. It will also encrypt your internet traffic while maintaining...
Do you have a guest I was going to be calling? Yeah, at 12:05. His name is Brendan Shea, and his number is 740-248.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off?
Come
Can't
on.
afford it? Too much hassle? Think you
9155.
There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's GetEthos. News.
Explains why we have a bleak future.
More than ever, teenagers see a bleak future. That's the headline. Now, why might that picture is the left has ruined their lives. The left has ruined this country. It might survive.
It's in the treasure show. We gave it one right before Sebastian Gorka had 3. 98 million FM. The answer. So how's that older roof over your head looking for you right about? Cold weather cracking some shingles, creating some gaps, causing some leaks. Look, it happen to any of us. Roof problems are a reality. And even if it's been solid for you, eventually that roof does need to be replaced. And whether it's repair or replace, you need someone you can trust. And that means you need Sky Roofing. Now entering their 24th year of the business, taking care of homes just like yours, treating it like it was one of theirs. Look, there are a lot of fly-by-night storm-chasing companies that won't be.
All right, next we're going to talk about the shooting in Houston at Joel Osteen's mega church. And Joe Biden's having a physical this week. Will he have a cognitive test? What do you think? And the defense of why he does not need a cognitive test. Although I would think, you know, if a special prosecutor says that the only reason he's not prosecuting you for not being careful with classified documents is because you're a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. I would think that, you know, let's get right out there and let's prove I have a great memory. Let's prove I know what I'm doing. But no, they're not going to do that. So I can't wait for you to hear KJP defend that. That's coming up next.
Bruce Hooley with a reminder that Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank all my listeners for all your continued support. And to thank you, they're having an overstock, clearance, and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use the promo code Bruce. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Free shipping, I said. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, they're only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items, such as mattresses and mattress toppers. It's all 100% made in the USA, on sale now for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the bath towels that actually absorb. Also dog beds, blankets, couch pillows, and so much more. To get the best specials ever, go to mypillow.com and use the promo code Bruce. Remember, you get free shipping on your entire order. So go to mypillow.com, promo code Bruce. mypillow.com, promo code Bruce.
Bruce Hooley Show on The Answer. And at 12:05 today, we will be joined by Republican candidate for Madison County Commissioner Brendan Shea. If you live out in Madison County, you may have seen Brendan's campaign signs in people's yards. Brendan Shea is a notable opponent of big solar, and it doesn't get much bigger than Bill Gates buying up, I think it's thousands of acres of Madison County farmland. That's been greenlit by the Madison County Commissioners. I think specifically one of them. So we'll talk to Brendan Shea. Is that what voters are telling him they want? Brendan Shea, 12:05. You might remember Brendan when he served on the State Board of Education. Brendan was the guy, the right fighter, fighting for what was right, against the Biden administration's expansion of Title IX. Well, Title IX is a good thing, Bruce. Why would anybody fight against that? Because they were trying to expand it to basically undo Title IX. Title IX was established 50 years ago to create opportunities for women equal to opportunities for men, specifically in high school and college sports. The Biden administration wants to expand Title IX, of course, to include transgender women, which is to say, transgender, always a good thing to remember. Just insert the word. If you can't keep track, is a transgender man a man? Or is a transgender man a woman? Just remember, transgender, just insert the word fake, because the whole thing is fake. The whole thing is a mental illness. It's a social contagion. Doesn't mean you shouldn't have empathy and kindness toward the people who are suffering from it. But it doesn't mean you should abide their delusion. You know who else has a mental disconnect between their biological reality and what they feel? Anorexics. Do we give stomach stapling surgery? Do we give anorexic affirming care to anorexics? No, we do not. Why? Because that would be A, cruel, and B, stupid. So that's why, thankfully, our Republican legislators in the state of Ohio overrode Mike DeWine's veto. Now, Brendan Shea 1205, the link between Joe Biden's wanted expansion of Title IX and the shooting at the Houston megachurch pastored by Joel Osteen. Well, looky here. The shooter came into the church between services with a 7-year-old boy. On the butt of the AR-15 was the word Palestine. Who do we know that uses children as a human shield? Oh, that's right, the Palestinians. You see the other day, they found a big array of tunnels underneath a UN headquarters in Gaza. They use children as human shields. This shooter comes in with an AR-15 with the word Palestine on the butt of the rifle. So I don't know, if I'm an arresting officer, if I'm an investigating officer, you want to know what I want to know? Is this person connected to terrorists around the world? Why did this person do what this person did? Does this person have any accomplices? Do you know what the Houston police had to, I was going to say spend, but I'll be more truthful and say waste time on? Do you know what they had to waste time on? Here's one of the Houston investigators telling you exactly what they had to get straight before they came out and talked about the shooter.
Houston Police Department reports she has been identified this entire time as female, she, her, and so we are identifying her as Genesee Moreno, Hispanic female.
Thank goodness we got that straight. We wouldn't want to slander someone who went into a church with an AR-15 and another weapon that she didn't have time to get out because two good guys with guns took her down. Unfortunately, the human shield she brought along, which we later found out was her 7-year-old son, is shot in the head and is in critical condition. He will pay, or is paying, for the sins of his mother. But we had to get straight first whether she is his mother or whether she is something else, because we can't say anything that might be construed as critical of the trans community. Because far be it from me to say that someone who would walk into a megachurch with an AR-15 using their son as a human shield might have, I don't know, a mental illness. They say you can't say that about transgenderism. I say it because that's what it is, because it's not unkind to tell people the truth about anything. It is, in fact, a gesture of kindness to tell them the truth about everything. But you won't get the truth later this week when your president and mine, Joe Biden, has his physical examination. Now, the Democrats have done everything they can, because they always do everything they can, right? They always say, we're doing everything we can to lower gas prices. We're doing everything we can to lower inflation. All their everything they can never works. And so They're everything they can defending Joe Biden's cognitive abilities is not working either. Because if they really want to convince us that Joe Biden is, let me play what KJP said. Let me play what KJP said yesterday about Joe Biden's cognitive abilities and why you should not worry about it. His age is an asset. It's an asset, his experience. He proves it every day. Does he prove it by wandering off podiums? He did it like yesterday with the king of someplace was in there and he went and stood on his left and he went and stood on his right. This guy. They need a shepherd's crook for Joe Biden when he gets done speaking. But I'm just thinking out loud here. If I'm part of the Biden bootlick crew and I really want to convince people that Joe Biden is okay, I think there are three ways to do it. Number one, if you think Robert Hur, the special counsel, is not qualified to say what he said, here's Karine Jean on that. Oh. Not for him to speak to. Well, actually, it is for him to speak to because he had to explain why he wasn't charging your boss with the willful and wanton treatment of classified documents. And the explanation was because he's an old, addled, demented mush brain of a person who people would feel sorry for. So he actually did get to weigh in on that. But if you, KJP, and Jill Biden and everybody else, Dr. Jill Biden, I'm sorry. If you want to prove that Joe Biden is sharp as a tack, and as they said yesterday, he can get more done in an hour than other people can get done all day. No one believes that, by the way. Make your denials believable, at least. There are three ways to do it. Number one would be release the transcript of his interview with Robert Hur. If you think Robert Hur drew unfair conclusions, release the transcript. Or here's a better idea. Sometimes you read things and the tone of voice is not there, the inflection is not there. Release the tape. Release the tape of the interview, 2-day interview that Biden had with Robert Hur. Release the tape. Let us all hear it. Why are Democrats fighting the release of the tape and release of the transcript? Why are they doing that? The third way you could do it is to have Joe Biden take a cognitive test when he takes his physical later this week. Will Joe Biden take a cognitive test? Well, here's a question to KJP about that.
The idea of the president taking a cognition test, a cognitive test, as a part of this physical is a legitimate idea, particularly just on the heels of the special counsel report, more polling, as my colleague Selena just mentioned, showing that many American people have concerns about that.
Look, I got this question last week as well.
Because it's a good one.
I was going to say with Dr. O'Connor, it's kind of what he said to me about a year ago when the report came out last year.
Yeah, he does. He proves every day he's incompetent. And you do too. A congenital liar.
This afternoon, sun and clouds, a breezy day, high 46. Partly cloudy tonight, low 25. Cloudy day tomorrow, high 42. And then clouds tomorrow night, low 33. Clouds and windy, a shower in spots on Thursday, high Thursday, 53. It'll be cloudy on Friday, much colder, high 39. And then times of clouds and sun, a windy day on Saturday, high Saturday only reaching 31. I'm Steve Williams on 98.9 FM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Kim Dolan-Leto, ESPN fitness champion and author of the book Fit God's Way. The new year brings you a new opportunity to get healthy. Enter the Healthy You, Healthy Family Sweepstakes. You can win a fitness package worth $5,000. It includes a 1-year fitness club membership for a family of 4, fitness equipment, gift cards, and a copy of my new book Fit God's Way. Make this your healthiest year yet.
Win the Healthy You, Healthy Family Sweepstakes today at 989theanswer.com.
Lots of channels. Nothing to watch, especially if you're searching for the truth. It's time to interrupt your regularly scheduled programs with something actually worth watching. Salem News Channel. Straightforward, unfiltered, with in-depth insight and analysis from the greatest collection of conservative minds, like Hugh Hewitt, Mike Gallagher, Sebastian Gorka, and more. Find truth. Watch 24/7 on snc.tv and on Local Now, Channel 525.
Hi, it's Bruce Hooley with a reminder that Mike Lindell and the MyPillow employees want to thank all my listeners for all your continued support. And to thank you, they're having an overstock, clearance, and new product sale right now for the best prices ever when you use the promo code Bruce. And you get free shipping on your entire order. Free shipping, I said. Get 50% off the MyPillow 2.0. Also get 50% off the brand new flannel sheets that just arrived and won't last long. 6-pack towel sets, they're only $29.98. And take advantage of the free shipping on larger items, such as mattresses and mattress toppers. It's all 100% made in the USA, on sale now for as low as $99.99. Everything is on sale, from brand new kitchen towels that have the same technology as the
Remember the Circleville
Also,
police officer who unleashed his police dog on a truck driver who wouldn't stop and led police on a long chase? Well, the city of Circleville has settled with both the officer and the truck driver. Now, who do you think got the bigger settlement?
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Of course, you know who got the bigger settlement, right? The person who was guilty of the bigger crime got the bigger settlement.
Your kindness will never
and we will,
without Trinity's support,
if time
I would not
allows,
have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming
use that as a
debt-free.
bridge to another similar story where a teacher got fired for pointing out that a program the school spent $250,000 on wasn't working. Wasn't working. And you would say, wait a minute, that would seem like a useful piece of information that maybe they should reward that teacher for. No. When you know where this happened, you'll understand why it happened. So that's coming up next.
Wednesday, March 20th, the Lazy Chameleon in Powell. Mike Gallagher, Bruce Hooley, Jack Windsor, and special guests live on stage. All tickets include food, drink, meet and greet, and Q&A. Tickets are limited for this VIP event. Details and tickets available now at 989theanswer.com.
You can really make a difference in the life of an older adult by volunteering to deliver Meals on Wheels. This is Chuck Gehring, president of Life Care Alliance, your Meals on Wheels provider. We need more volunteers. Listen to how serving as a volunteer for Life Care Alliance has touched the life of one of our volunteers.
I have been a 20-year volunteer for Life Care Alliance, and I guess my story starts several years ago when I visited in Etna in Detroit. They were retired federal employees that unfortunately had become homebound. And I was really amazed and shocked to see the meals delivered to them. Meals on Wheels delivered meals to them at that time. And it was such a good experience to see these meals being delivered and the impact that it had on my family.
Make a difference today. To learn more, call 444-MEAL or 444-6325 or visit us at lifecarealliance.org.
Hey, I said this last week when I was on with Jack Windsor. I'll say it again today because the murder trial of former Franklin County Sheriff's Deputy Jason Mead resumes today. Pray for Jason Mead. Pray for his attorneys. Pray that the jury would have the courage to do the right thing. Jason Mead, it's ridiculous he's charged with a crime in this case. And, of course, a white law enforcement officer who justifiably shot a black man. Two things can be true and are true. Number one, extremely tragic. Nobody wanted to see Casey Goodson die, but the decisions that Casey Goodson made led directly to his death. And Jason Mead should not pay a price for that. He's already paid a tremendous price for it. He's had to retire, and he's no longer free to be anonymous because everybody knows his name, knows what he looks like. So I pray for Jason Mead and the Mead family. And it's gotten ugly between Mead and his neighbors, which his neighbors are knuckleheads, to bother a guy over just doing his duty. Thanks for keeping us safe. By the way, I hate you. Yeah, I don't ever understand the mentality. By the way, I'm not the only one saying Joe Biden should take a cognitive test. Comedian Jon Stewart and I would not be aligned on too many things. We're aligned on this.
Means he had no ability to recall very basic things under questioning. If you're telling us behind the scenes he is sharp and full of energy and on top of it and really in control and leading, you should film that. That would be good to show to people instead of the TikTok where he goes.
Yeah, that would be good to show to people. The whole like Biden defense of so many different things is could be collected under one question. What are you afraid of? What are you afraid of letting him take a cognitive test? What are you afraid of letting Hunter testify? What are you afraid of disclosing the emails that you, Joe Biden, mysteriously sent under pseudonyms about Hunter's business dealings? What are you afraid of? Oh, of getting caught. Okay, yes, I know you can't say that out loud, but that's exactly what you're afraid of. Now, you may remember on July the 4th, a police situation that developed around Circleville. We had a guy driving a semi who police tried to pull over, except he didn't pull over. Always a bad idea. Nothing good happens if you flee police. Police do not go, well, I mean, in some woke cities they do, but not yet here in Ohio do police go, oh, he's trying to get away. I guess we have to let him. No. And it's very hard, you know, aside from Beverly Hills Cop, where you actually can make a getaway in a semi. You're not going to outrun the police in a semi. But this guy tried. His name was Jadarius Rose. Jadarius Rose. And Jadarius Rose was finally stopped by police. And he was ordered, when stopped, to get out of the semi with his hands on top of his head. Now, why? Because he was driving erratically and dodged a first set of stop sticks. When you dodge a set of stop sticks, what do you think police believe? Well, they believe, hey, this guy doesn't want to be caught. It's probably a nefarious reason he doesn't want to be caught. So when they do catch him, they told him to get out of his truck, put his hands on top of his head, or get on the ground. He did neither. He did neither. And so a Circleville police officer unleashed his canine German Shepherd, his canine officer, which of course is a German Shepherd. And Jadarius Rose got bit. Now, I will stipulate that the officer in this case was told by other officers not to release the dog, but the dog got released. It's a wild scene. I don't know how this happened. It's a wild scene. Is it possible that he didn't hear the orders? I think it's possible. Is it possible he intended to and the dog got away? Yes. It's also possible that he intentionally released the dog. I don't know which, but I do know that the city of Circleville has settled with the officer for $40,000. $40,000. So that doesn't begin to cover the money, the wages, the salary, the benefits that this officer now forgoes because he's no longer a member of the city of Circleville's police force or the county sheriff or whoever he was there on behalf of. He got 40 grand. What do you think the truck driver got? The truck driver who disobeyed orders to stop, dodged stop sticks, driving erratically in a semi. Could anybody get hurt if somebody's driving erratically in a semi? Yeah, I think that's possible. If you know the laws of mass and power, you know that somebody could get hurt by a semi. He didn't get out of his truck with his hands on top of his head, nor did he get on the ground. And for all of that, he got bit by a dog. And for his trouble, he's being paid $225,000 by the city of Circleville. Here his Mr. Rose's attorney. The transfer of money never makes the harm go away, but it does make a nice fat fee for me. Oh, I'm sorry, I editorialized that. The transfer of money never makes the harm go away. It doesn't change what happened. Well, you know, what could have changed what happened is if your client had done what he was ordered to do at any point. That would have changed what happened. But then Jadarius Rose wouldn't walk away with a $225,000 check. half of which probably goes to his attorney, his crooked attorney. And this is just ridiculous. And you say, wait a second, Bruce. You told me at the beginning of the show that you weren't going to do Today in Crazy until 12:20. Don't worry. I told you all the time, I never have a shortage of headlines for Today in Crazy. Now, here's more from the attorney, as if you really want to hear it. As much as we appreciate the step toward accountability, the fact that the officer who let a dog attack a young black man is also receiving a settlement, that really causes you to step back and say, did they really mean it when they came to us? You got 225 grand, and because the officer got 40 grand and he wouldn't have gotten a penny if there wasn't some indeterminate resolving of whether or not he acted according to union policies or whatever. He wouldn't have gotten a penny of that if there wasn't some unknown about that. They're mad that the officer got money when the client who broke the law to induce the police chase, dodged stop sticks, didn't follow police orders. This is what happens every time somebody gets shot, fleeing police, and they blame the police. They always say, well, he shouldn't have shot. Guy didn't have a gun. Remember the guy at the Wendy's in Atlanta? We stood there for like 12 minutes with the officers and everything was cool. And then he grabbed the officer's taser and he used it on the officer. There's always like a series of about 8 or 10 bad decisions by the person who ends up getting the worst of it, in this case, the truck driver. And they never look at the 8 to 10 bad decisions ahead of time, not stopping when you were ordered, dodging stop sticks, driving erratically, not getting down on the ground, not putting your hands on top of your head. They never look at that. It's always, well, look, the officer, I'm the officer. That's a preview of Today in Crazy. Here's more crazy and more instance that you can't do anything wrong if, well, I don't have time. That's fine, because I can't wait to get to Brendan Shea. We'll save this for Today in Crazy. What do you think would happen to a teacher who pointed out that a program that cost $250,000 wasn't getting results? Do you think that teacher would walk away with a big fat check like Jadarius Rose? No.
It's a last cruise this summer. It's going to be an
all right.
Opportunity to engage.
That'll do it. Let me check the comments. Sorry, I didn't see the comments before now.
Cruise over 4th of July. Witness the untouched wilderness of Alaska while discussing America's future. Join Dr. Gorka and me, Mike Gallagher, from June 29th through July the 6th. Call 855-565-5519 or reserve online at patriotsalaskacruise.com.
I looked down at my hands and was like, wow.
Thanks a lot for watching. Go to riverbendranchsteaks.com/Bruce Hooley if you want the best steaks you've ever eaten in your life. Lower than Moink, lower than Butcher Box, lower than ever. If you need flooring, soft step carpet and flooring in Plain City, but don't call the office, call me. Or email me. Just email me, brucehooley@gmail.com, and I'll take care of it. Get right back to you. Love to help you floor your house. Cheaper than any other flooring contractor in Central Ohio because we don't have high-end rental locations, and because we don't have multi-level management. We don't have cars wrapped with our signage. We're a small, nimble, but responsive organization.
United States
and we crush it. I had a guy last week. His house was burned.
Gradually,
he got an estimate from a contractor to redo the floors in his house. Estimate was 19 grand.
January, up from a
we saved him
increase the
about
previous month.
More than $4,000.
With a year ago, prices
now you probably don't need carpet for your whole house because hopefully your house didn't.
The Senate passing a $95.3 billion aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan.
Thanks a lot for watching. See you again tomorrow.
Vote early Tuesday morning comes after